Hey everyone, it's Lisa. I'm back with another card project. We are going to make a card similar to this one. So let's get started. For this card, I'm using a standard A2 card. So it is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I've run the front part of the card through the Big Shot using our Textured Impression Frame Tulips folder. And so I have this nice frame here. I really like it. And for this card, I'm going to use the Elements of Style stamp, this one right here, and I'm going to ink it up in Pretty in Pink. So I'm going to ink it up. Using my Stampin' Majig. I think I'll just put it like this and see what happens. Oops, shoot. Hopefully it didn't move. Okay. I want this one up here to go kind of at an angle, like that. There we go. So, it's going to be tricky. Line up my Stampin' Majig tool. You want to make sure that your Stampin' Majig does not move at all until you get your stamp down. Okay, that'll work. And then I'm going to ink it up again. I think I like that color. This time, I want it to go kind of like that. Okay. I'll put my imaging tool up next to that. Move that out of the way. Make sure I got this turned the way I want it. Okay, and then press that down. There. Okay, now I'm going to clean that up and I will be right back. Okay, now I've cleaned up my stamp and I'm going to use my imaging tool again to line up my image perfectly. Okay, now taking my Stampin' Majig and using it again. This time I'm going to ink my stamp up in Versamark. Okay, and this time I'm going to pick it up first, make sure I have it the way I want it. Oh, actually that's not going to work. I need 3 hands. Okay, so I'm going to move my imaging sheet away and then just line that up right alongside there and press. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, now that I've gotten both sides inked up with the Versamark, oh, I forgot to do one more thing. Now I should have done this before I put the Versamark on, so I have to be very careful, but I'm trying to get, I'm rubbing this used dryer sheet on here to get rid of any static that's on the paper so that my embossing powder does not stick in places I don't want it to, which is going to be a little tricky since I didn't do that ahead of time. Anyway, I'm using an iridescent ice embossing powder from Stampin' Up. I'm going to go ahead and pour a little more out of this container. And I like to put them, my embossing powders and my glitters, in these containers like this, because that way I don't waste any embossing powder or glitter. It just all goes back in the container. I think that's going to be really pretty. Now, and then what I do next, before I turn my heat gun on, is I get a paintbrush, a soft paintbrush with a small head on it, and I go around and I get rid of any of the stray embossing powder or glitter that I don't want on there. So I'm going to do that right now. Hopefully I have enough Versamark on there. Okay, enough glitter. Okay, so now I'm going to get off the excess. I'm off camera. Zoom out here. There we go. I'm going to get a brush and get some more of this off of the card before I turn on the heat gun. Okay, so now I'm going to heat emboss this. Hopefully I haven't lost too much of my embossing powder. And I like to let it heat up a bit before I put it directly onto the project. Okay. Okay, you don't want to overdo that because you can burn it. If you can see the sheen on that, the sparkle. Okay. So now I'm going to take a piece of Pretty in Pink ribbon. This is our 5/8 inch grosgrain ribbon. And I'm going to put it about in the center of the card, maybe a little bit up. Not a little off center, not completely centered. I think that'll be good. Kind of like that. Yeah. And then I'm going to take some tape and tape the ribbon to the back or inside of the card. And later when I put my put a liner piece in there, you won't see that, or whoever gets the card won't see that. So I'll put that there. Make sure that's straight, and it's not. There's a lot of shadow over here. Now, I've already made a flower for this, and it's all inked up in Regal Rose. The designer series paper that's used on here is from our Lap of Luxury collection, and this particular flower was made using this paper right here. You see it has a little floral pattern on it, very light. This is what the other side looks like. And so the way I made this flower, I'm not sure if I showed this in another video, but I've learned both of these techniques from someone else online. This part of the flower I made using a heart punch. The lady I was watching was using our owl punch, and I don't have that, so I thought, I wonder if I can do that with my heart punch. I punched out 8 hearts and took my bone folder and curled the hearts on both sides, and then took my scissors, snip down the middle, probably about a ½ inch or so, and then put a little Tombow glue right there, just right here on one side, just a little, and then you cross the points like that. Then it makes like a little cup in the middle. You hold it for a little while until it dries. And again, you can ink that. And you do that with all 8 of them. And you're going to need to get a, I used a 1 3/8 inch circle, I believe, for the bottom. And there's 4 on the bottom. Is there 4? Yes, there's 4 on the bottom. Well, this one, there's 4 on the bottom, and there's 3 on the top. For this black and white card, there's 4 on the bottom and 4 on the top. So I used all 8 hearts. And then for the center, I took my large, this is the 2 3/8 inch scallop punch, and punched out. And this paper is from the Springtime Vintage Designer Series paper, and you've seen, well, if you've watched some of my other videos, you've seen a couple of projects with that paper. So with this, you can curl your ends first, but you're going to cut around all the way around, and you're making kind of like a spiral is what you're making out of this. And I want to say it's about 1/4 inch or so. So do this all the way around. You want to leave just a little dot circle, little section right here on the end. That's what everything's going to attach to. And then I use a quilling tool, and for some reason I had to widen mine a bit because my paper wouldn't go through it. I guess it was too thick. I've never done quilling, so I don't know what the paper's like. Anyway, so I twist all the way around, keeping the bottom edge even all the way. I love this paper. I can't get enough of this new Designer Series paper. Okay, and then that's really tight, so you're going to just let it loosen up a bit and play with it until it's the way you want. And I would definitely, if you want the petals curled back, I would do that before this part, because it's a little difficult. I do it, but it's hard to get it curled back the way you want it. So after you do that and you get the flower looking the way you want it, get your Tombow glue again and put it right there on that section that you saved. And then press everything down until you want everything, even your center right here, to end up in that glue. And you're just going to hold it for a while. Okay. And that's all I did. So this, that was the center, how the center of my flower was made. And the heart punch is what I use to make the outer part of my flower. Okay, so now I'm going to take this flower, and I think I'm going to do the same thing on this card that I did on the black and white, and that's take some more ribbon and put it on the card like that, and then lay that on top of it. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'll go 8 inches of ribbon. And then I'm going to use my Tombow glue to join my ends. And hold. Then I want to bring that together, the two sides together. And that's going to go right about there. Okay, now I'm going to put Tombow glue on that. Stick that onto the ribbon that's already there. So I'm going to hold that. Now, I'm going to put some Tombow glue on the back of this. And there you can see the other side of that designer series paper. And this is a heavy object. I want to make sure it just, it doesn't come falling off my card. So, put quite a bit there. And then I'm going to hold it down. And there you are, a quick and simple card. I hope you enjoyed this project. I look forward to being with you again. Thanks again for watching.